Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a Foxy eye makeup cat eye inspired look. I've seen a few videos like this going around and I thought it would be fun to just do like this soft, sultry kind of lifted eye facelift makeup look. I know a lot of people are getting inspo from Bella Hadid, I believe, and when I actually think of this look, I think of a lot of celebrities. I feel like a lot of celebrities like Megan Fox and a lot of people always have like that soft, sultry kind of like, it looks like you got a facelift kind of look, and I think it's beautiful. I love the tones and I love anything like soft, neutral, soft glam. That's like my favorite. So I thought it would be fun to try it out today. I'm not really following a specific technique or like a specific tutorial. I'm kind of just like winging it based off of what I've seen and just kind of making it my own. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Definitely grab a snack and let's just get into it. Okay, so I already did my brows just because my brows are so repetitive. If you guys watch any of my tutorials, I've been showing them a lot, so I just thought we would skip that today. So I'm gonna just jump right into the eyes. I'm gonna actually start by priming. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. This one I believe is the lightest shade that they have and I really like this. Just looks like this. I'm just gonna use my finger and I'm just gonna apply that all over my lid. I like how neutral it makes your lids, and they have a bunch of colors in this too, which is nice. So today for eyeshadows, I'm gonna use this palette from e.l.f., which is actually one of my favorites. I like the mixture of cool tones and like warm tones in here, and that's exactly what I'm looking for with this specific kind of eye technique. So this is the New Classics palette, and I also really like the fact that it has mattes and shimmers in it. So I'm gonna be using this today. This is gonna be basically like an all matte kind of look. So I'm gonna start off actually with this color right here, which is called Uptown. It's like a really light brown, and I'm just gonna take this on a big fluffy brush and I'm gonna start kind of working that shade right in the crease, and I'm gonna try to kind of like flick it outwards. Now I'm gonna use my e.l.f. eye tapes, lots of e.l.f. I promise we have other brands in today's video, but these are amazing for doing winged liner, for really having a precise cut with your eyeshadow. They're amazing. You can get them like at any drugstore, and I just cut mine right down in half because one strip is super long. So I'm basically gonna take this, and this is gonna be like my guide for like the wing because I want it to be super lifted. The hardest part about these is just making them even, so just, you know, wing it. Now to do this, I'm actually going to use this shade right here, which is called Muse from the palette. It's like a really nice cool tone brown. I'm going to use this angled brush. I actually found this at TJ Maxx a little while back, and I'm going to take that and basically I'm going to follow along with the eye tape, and I'm going to just do a wing. I love doing my wings with shadows. If you guys watch any of my videos, you know that I actually do this very often. I think it looks so pretty, and it's a lot softer and easier to do versus with like regular eyeliner. So this doesn't really have to be perfect if you are trying out this technique because we're gonna smoke it out and smudge it out. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm really gonna smudge this out, make it very smoky. I'm gonna use the shade again, Muse and Earth, just mixing the two on this brush from Profusion. It's like a really skinny, sort of like fluffy blender brush. It's tapered on the ends, which is great. I'm just gonna take this and start running through it back and forth. I'm gonna use a bigger blending brush. This one's from Sigma, it's the E25, and I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is called Truffle in the palette. It's like a softer brown, a little bit more warm tone, and I'm just gonna run that on the lid area to blend this out a little bit more and just diffuse that shade a little bit better. I'm gonna take that same brush with the shade Muse. And I'm just gonna kind of run that right on the edge because I still want that wing to be there. I just want it to be very smoky. Colors blend in really, really nicely. I know it always looks crazy at first, but once you start blending, it gets better. The e.l.f. eye tapes are a game changer for trying to do this. Like, I 1000% swear by these. I use them all the time. I'm getting better with my winged liner where I don't need them all the time, but whenever I do something like this where you want to be more precise and you really want to like shape your eyes, I think the e.l.f. eye tapes are amazing because you place them where you want and then you basically just use it as a guide and you follow along, and then once you take it off, it gives you the exact kind of shape or whatever you're looking for with your eyeshadow or your eyeliner. They're amazing. Definitely recommend it. And they're like $3, I believe, and you get so much in here, and then if you cut them in half, you can make them last even longer. So they're the bomb. This is pretty much it for the eyes, to be honest. It's really, really soft and smoky. I don't want to do too much with it because I really want the kind of wing to be the main star of the show, and you can make this as dark or as light as you want. I love doing this with browns. You could also do it with black as well, but I think with brown it is so pretty and sultry. This could be really also a good like date night kind of look. That's kind of what it reminds me of because it's like a very sexy kind of look. Does anybody else get so awkward saying that word? I told you guys before, but I swear sometimes I feel like I'm just like a teenager because I can't say that word without like whispering or feeling so weird and uncomfortable. Let's move on. Okay, now the moment of truth. Let's see if they're semi-even. Ooh, that is precise, girl. Actually, I mean, this one's I think a little bit more further up, but it doesn't look bad. Hopefully with the lashes and once I do like the rest of the makeup, it should be good. There we go. All right, now falsies, of course, but let's do a little bit of mascara. My favorite brown mascara is from ColourPop in the shade Brownie Points. It's their BFF Volume Mascara. Literally a holy grail of mine. And what you want to do is you want to kind of focus more of like, if you're not doing falsies, more of the volume in your lashes on the end of your lashes to kind of have this sort of taper outwards. I'm gonna do falsies, but just to show you like what I would do if I wasn't, and if I had really long, amazing lashes, I would kind of just focus most of the product in this direction, like that. And I was watching SMLX0, which is Stephanie, and she was doing that as well. Okay, just poked myself in the eye. She was doing that as well. Next up for lashes, I have these. They're perfect. These are from Salon Perfect. They're the Lash GNA lashes in the style 680. They're supposed to accentuate your eyes. So I thought these were perfect with this eye makeup. And I love Salon Perfect lashes. You can get them at Walmart. They're super affordable. This is a closer look at what they look like. So they have a really thin band. They're very wispy, but they're not too volumizing, which I think is good. It's kind of like the look that we're going for, almost like a lash extension sort of vibe. I'm gonna use, of course, my Kiss Lash Glue, and I'm just gonna put that right on there. Let these dry for about like a minute, not more than a minute, not less than 30 seconds. While we wait, I usually would move on to the rest of the skin and everything at this time. Sometimes it depends, but you know, we have time today. We have time to chill and hang out. So I'm gonna tightline my upper waterline, and I'm gonna use this liner from CoverGirl. It's the Exhibitionist 24-hour liner, and this one's actually the brown color. I might use black, but let's start off with brown and see how it looks. This always makes my eyes water, but it's a must. Oh my gosh, I'm crying. Oh my god. No, just kidding. I'm gonna prime my skin since we're here just waiting for the lash glue to dry. Whenever I'm waiting for my lashes to dry, I just put them right on the case and I just set them aside. So I'm gonna do a little concoction today with primers. I'm gonna start off with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid. Is that what it is? Yeah, hyaluronic acid primer. Okay. Looks like this. Super hydrating. I like this a lot. It smells good. It feels good. I'm just gonna put this on everywhere. All of these celebrities have like the smoothest skin ever, so we're gonna get that with makeup. So I'm gonna use the Hailey's Beauty Refine Primer, which one of my favorites as well. It's a really good pore filling primer. This is a dupe for the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer. Put that right on my T-zone. Bam! And usually by the time I'm done prepping my skin, it's time to put on the lashes. And you want to place them as close to your lash line as possible. The glue will dry clear. If it doesn't, we'll add a little bit of liner, but it will. So I'm gonna kind of let those sit there for a little bit, and then if needed, I'll go in with liner in just a minute. But let's do the foundation and see if it dries. Time to get smooth, creamy, poreless skin. So I'm gonna use the Hailey's Beauty Reform Liquid Luxe Luminous Foundation. Another favorite. I'm using a lot of favorites in today's video. This one's in the shade 2.50. This is a really good like spring everyday foundation. It's luminous, but not too much. I'm using my ColourPop, I believe this is called the Detail Sponge. I always get the names confused, but it's amazing. Super bouncy. Coverage is a little bit more buildable on this foundation too, which I love, but it's still very fresh on the skin. I think my brow tail is a little too long for today's look, so I'm gonna try to like rub it away because it's like literally meeting with the eyeshadow, but cool. So then for concealer, I just tested this one out again after not using it for a while, and I really like it. It's the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer in the shade Light Vanilla. Right under the eyes. The glue dried pretty much. Might have to go over it a little bit with some liner, but I love how it dries clear. Let's do a little cream bronzing. I'm gonna use the Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream in the shade Fair from Huda Beauty. You only need a little bit of this, so just a little warning. This is super pigmented, but I really like it because it gives you a really pretty bronzy look. So I'm stippling the product in, and I'm using an LA Girl 104 brush. I definitely recommend stippling this product in with a brush like this. It makes it so much easier to blend because this can get really muddy really quick. So you have to really like feather it in and just work with it. I'm also gonna do the perimeter of my forehead. Let's snatch the forehead today. See, it just gives you like that really pretty kind of bronzy look, and I love it. I like this too because there's a lot of different colors for different skin tones. So this is good. This I think is the lightest shade, and it's like, it could honestly, I feel like even work for me when I'm tanner because it's dark. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set all of the creams, of course. So I'm gonna first kind of just take a little brush right under the concealer to blend away any creases. Because if you don't do this, and sometimes I'll do this with my sponge as well, but if you don't blend away the creases, then when you set, you're just gonna set your creases. So blend them out really quick and then put your powder in. It's just gonna, I mean, we all have fine lines, I feel like, the majority of us. So no matter what, like, it's gonna settle your powder and your concealer, but this just kind of helps to reduce it a little bit. For powder today, I'm gonna use the Milk Makeup Blur and Set Matte Loose Powder. And I'm actually gonna use a brush to apply this on my T-zone. probably put my bronzer a little too far out over here, a little too low, but what can you do? Let's just pretend it's blush. Then I'm going to set the bronzer, of course. So I'm actually going to use this palette that I used the other day for the first time in like such a long time, and I really like it. It's the Catrice California in a Box palette. I love this because you get bronzers, blush, and then you get a highlighter as well. So I'm actually going to use this bronzer right here, and I'm going to use that to set that bronzer and kind of just add a little bit more as well. Upwards to lift those cheekbones, even though I'm like the worst person ever when it comes to contouring. I don't do it properly. I more so like just like add bronzer and go for like that bronzy look. And I'm going to use that same bronzer with this brush from Japanesque. It is my favorite, 726. I lost this for a little bit and I found it, thank goodness. But it's great for nose contour. So I'm going to take that and we're gonna snatch the nose. Oh my gosh, I just realized I still have that little scar from when I had my nose pierced. Do you guys remember that? I had my nose pierced a year ago. It's been over a year since I got it pierced. But I took it out because I had a really annoying bump that wouldn't go away. I know it would have went away over time, but I didn't have time because I'm always on camera. So I didn't want you guys to look at that because it was getting really bad. It was to the point where I remember it would be like crusty and bloody and I had to film. So I'm like, how can I film when my nose is literally on fire? So I had to just take it out. Just kind of blending this out, pretending there's a mirror on here, but there's not. Let's set the brows. Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow Gel in the shade Grind. I love this color on me, especially right now because my hair, I just dyed it a few days ago. Don't recommend doing it. I know it's not good, but my roots were screaming to get done. So yeah, I like this color on me because it is a little bit darker. I'm gonna do just a little bit of blush. I'm actually gonna use this one that's a little bit more of like a rose. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna do a more of a bronzy blush. Hold on, let me grab something different. When in doubt, always go in with Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon. It's just like the most perfect bronzy warm tone blush. I love it so much. So I'm gonna do a little bit of this and blending it upwards towards the bronzer. So beautiful, I love it. And then for highlighter, I'm actually gonna use the same one in the Catrice palette. So I'm just gonna take this. This is actually really, really beautiful and it's not too light. I'm gonna just use a little bit. Okay, now for lips, I'm gonna do a little bit of KKW lip liner in the shade Nude 2. These are very creamy. And I'm gonna kinda rub this in a little bit with my finger. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Milani Understatement lip liner in the shade 160 as well. And I'm gonna kind of feather that in. Then I'm gonna do a little bit of the NYX Shout Loud lipstick in the shade A La Mode. It's like a peachy kind of nude. And I just do a little bit right in the center. Now we're zoomed back in because we're gonna finish up these eyes. So I'm actually gonna start off with finishing up the lower lashes. I'm gonna take the shade right here, which is Earth and Muse, and I'm gonna smudge that on the lower lash line, kind of like on the outer portion of the lash line, because I don't wanna close off the eyes too much. I wanna keep more of the darkness on the outer portion. So I'm gonna use this little angled brush that I got from Luxie. It's a mini angled brush, and I'm just gonna take that and I'm gonna concentrate most of the color right on this part and connecting that upwards. Did Did you just hear my stomach growl? Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. Someone's ready for lunch. What I'm gonna do is just take more of that cream shade. And I'm just gonna put, actually no, just kidding, we're not, because we're gonna do a cat eye in the inner corner. So yeah, we're gonna leave that there. I'm gonna use the CoverGirl Exhibitionist 24-hour liner. And this one is in the shade Rich Brown, and I'm just gonna line the outer waterline. I saw SML doing this. And I still call YouTubers by their like usernames. That's just what I do. I'm gonna use a little bit more of the ColourPop mascara on the lower lashes. Last but not least, this is like the part that I'm a little nervous about. We're gonna do some inner corner wing tips. I'm nervous about this. Like, you know, I was nervous about this, but you know, we had the e.l.f. eye tapes to help us along. Now it's just, we're gonna free ball it. We're gonna just go with it. So I'm gonna use a brow and lash brush. This is actually from Equate. You can get it at Walmart. I don't have a brown pen liner, and I think black is gonna be a little bit too harsh. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna use some of brown eyeshadow. And I'm gonna use Earth and Muse from the e.l.f. palette. I'm gonna do that little cat eye, and I'm gonna like just try to stamp that. I just got shadow where it's not supposed to be. Maybe I need to use a smaller brush. Okay, I'm gonna use a smaller little angled brush. This one's actually from Profusion. Okay, that looks terrible. I'm gonna have to just do liner. I'm gonna just use the ColourPop liquid liner, and this one's just in the shade numero uno. I didn't wanna do black, but we're gonna have to. ColourPop has a brown liner like this. I believe I just don't have it, so we're gonna have to just go with it and improvise. Okay, that's not helpful. I'm sorry, I just have to get so close. Is that how they do it? I don't know. These inner corner wings are a lot harder than what I thought they were gonna be. I mean, I was struggling, my eyes were watering, so I had to take a little bit of a break, put some eye drops in. So it doesn't look perfect, but I did it. So the final thing I'm gonna do is just set my makeup. I want something really light today, so I'm gonna use the What It Do Makeup Refreshing Spray from Fenty. I haven't used this in like a few weeks, so I figured I would whip it out again. So the spritzer on this is really, really light, so I'm gonna just spritz my entire face. So that completes this Foxy Eye makeup look. I overall like the look. Everything was going pretty good until we got to the inner corner wings. They were a struggle. My eyes were tearing up. I don't know if it's something that I would do all the time because it is a struggle, and I think my eyes are a little too sensitive for that, but I do like the way that it looks. I really do feel like it elongates your eyes and it makes them look very sultry and like sexy, if I do say so myself. Perfect for a date night. I love this look overall. It's not perfect, but I think, you know, it's a nice little trend. I also wanted to mention I did add some of the CoverGirl 24-hour Exhibitionist liner to the waterline. I felt like it looked really strange after I did the inner corner wings without lining the entire waterline, so I just did some of that, the brown one, and that is pretty much it. I like it. I love the tones. I love these products. So I encourage you guys to try this out and play with some of your favorites and see what you come up with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are doing well. I love you all, and I'll see you very soon in my next one.